Hey, g'day kids, how you doing? Well, welcome back. I'm still in Norway. I'm in Geiranger, and that's it just up there behind me. And it's at the end of this really impressive looking fjord. Just the scenery around here is just magnificent. I got here last night and it was nice and sunny when I got here. In fact, it felt so much like summer. I did what any good Aussie does in summer. I went for a splash. Woo!
Oh, that'll do. A little bit more refreshing than Australia, I guess. Well, just a bit.
It was bitterly cold. I think I was in there for all of about 90 seconds and then got out. Yeah, but it was good fun. Last week, it was all about bridges that we crossed. This week, it's all about switchbacks. Now, switchbacks are the really tight turns you take as you come down a mountain to get into one of these gorges. Have a look at this. This is the number of switchbacks I took from the top of the mountain here to get down into this campsite. It's quite a few, and there'll be a lot more of them over the next couple of days. When I hit this place, when I first arrived at Geiranger up the top of the mountain here, I was stunned. In fact, the scene that I rode up to really shocked me.
So I was riding down into Geiranger and came across all this traffic jam. Look at this. People just parked on the side of the road and staring down the bottom of the hill. So I thought, we better have a look. This reminds me of the Mermaid in Copenhagen, where everyone was trying to get a good view.
Got through all that, and now we're going to continue ride a few more of these fjords over the next couple of days. So why don't you strap yourselves down and come for a ride with me as we check out the Sognefjord area of Norway. So before entering the Sognefjord area, we have to pass through the troll wall. Now the troll wall guards all the fjords. Now the trolls were an ancient people, and legend has it they loved to party. One night they partied so long and so hard, they got so drunk, they were still at it when the sun rose, and that turned them into stone. And now they stand forever, this big rock monument overlooking the fjords. So up to the troll wall, I had a decision to make. I was coming up to the longest tunnel in Norway. Now this one goes for about 20 kilometres. So it was either a choice of spending about 40 minutes inside a tunnel, or I could take the old road, which would take me up over the top of the mountain, meaning I'd have to camp somewhere overnight and then head down a bunch of switchbacks into Åland. So the choice was obvious. We took the high road. And we're back to refrigerator temperature, 8.5 degrees up here. Feeling it. Yeah, welcome to my campsite. Have a peanut with me. Want one, Rui? Yeah. That place apparently is normally very crowded as you ride down into Åland. But because I camped up the top last night, I've got here very early. And look at the photo I took, look at the vision I got. And after that little lookout, we hit the switchbacks right at the bottom. We've got a few of these coming up now as we go down into that little town we just saw from up the top. And that town was in sunshine. So hopefully the sun will still be shining when we get down there, eh? So down through all the switchbacks, and we're into the little town of Åland. What do you reckon, guys? This is a pretty little town, eh? Wow, very nice. This is the last of the twisties, or the little big twisties anyway. We're riding into a town called Lisboten, and as much as I'd like to look down at the scenery on this one, I'm not going to be able to. In fact, I'm probably thankful that there's fog, because that way I can't look down there anyway. It's 8 kilometres downhill. I'll show you this photo. This will give you a good idea of what the scene would look like on a day when the cloud's not so low. The other thing I'm glad about is that I'm doing it very early in the morning. It's 6 o'clock. I left my campsite an hour ago because I wanted to get here I've got a ferry that I've got to get, and the ferry leaves at 7 o'clock in the morning. So this is another one of those things that I've been able to tick off on the bucket list thing. So guess what, guys? We get to do these twisties again, this time going up the hill. Not necessarily because I wanted to, but because I have to. When I got down to Lisbotan, the ferry that I was in a rush to get to, the 7 o'clock ferry, the 7 o'clock in the morning ferry, was only a passenger ferry. So it didn't take cars or motorbikes. I didn't know that. I didn't read anything about that. There was nothing that I read that suggested that that was the case. So kids, the lesson to learn from that is that don't rely all your research on Dr. Google or the internet. Sometimes it's probably worth asking someone for advice. Maybe like mum or dad, or a teacher, or pop. Although if you ask me for advice, make sure I know what I'm talking about, eh? After riding up the twisties out of Lisbotan, the next stop on the journey was Prikastolen, which in English means the preacher's chair. From the start it was a steep climb, even with its very own twisty. You're told it's a 2-hour hike to get to the top, but no one mentions how tough it is. All you ever see is their photo from the top. Well, I'm here to tell you kids, this is one tough hike. At one point there's even a bridge. I have no idea why, wasn't needed, but it's just what they do in Norway. They build bridges. You end up high above the clouds, and that's a stunning view. Next, you're walking right on the edge of the cliff, 600 metres above the ground, with no railing to stop you falling over. Scary, scary, scary! Survive that, and you've reached the top. Sadly, my timing wasn't as good as it was at Nordkapp. The queue for the photo had already stretched out way too long. But, as you can see, I did make it to the top. Righto kids, this is where my trip to Norway comes to an end, on the edge of a cliff. It's been an amazing couple of weeks riding up through Denmark, up through Sweden, into Finland, the top of Norway, and all the way down the west coast. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been one of the most exhilarating things I've done from a travel point of view in my life. Next week, I don't know where I'm going to be. I haven't planned that far ahead, but hang around and we'll see where we go. Remember, I love you guys. God loves you too.